Mr. Boydston here. Today, I would like for you to look at the two images that I'm going to place on the screen, and I want you to tell me, what do you notice? What do these two images have in common? The first thing that I notice is that they're both cartoons. The next thing I notice, both of these are jungle cats. And you know something else that I notice? These two are Disney villains from old movies. One of them is Scar from The Lion King. The other one is Shere Khan from The Jungle Book. Now, what do we notice about these two that are different? Well, one thing I noticed is one's a lion, the other's a tiger. One of them, if you look closely, has green eyes, the other one has yellow eyes. Something else I notice, one of them has stripes and one of them doesn't have stripes. When we look at two different things and we discuss how they are similar and how they're different, we call that comparing and contrasting. Now, when we do this, there's a tool that we can use that will help us keep our thoughts organized. It's called a Venn diagram. To properly fill out a Venn diagram, we have to first create two circles that overlap in the middle. Then in one circle, we number 1 to 3. In another circle, we number 1 to 3. And then you'll notice in the shaded area where the circles overlap, I've put an arrow and I've numbered 1 to 3 just below the Venn diagram. This helps me keep my letters from getting too small and bunched up. So now I've got to write the two things that I'm comparing inside each circle. So in one circle, I've got Scar from The Lion King. In the other circle, I have Shere Khan from The Jungle Book. Now, if I look at just the things that I notice about Scar, I'll write them down in his circle. So I notice he's a lion. I notice he has green eyes, and I notice he's from the movie The Lion King. Then I do the exact same thing with Shere Khan on the other side. I'll write down that he's a tiger. I'll write down that he has yellow eyes and that he's from the movie The Jungle Book. Now, where these circles overlap in the middle, this is where I'm going to write what the two images have in common. Remember, we talked about both of them being jungle cats. They're both cartoons, and they're both in Disney movies. So that's what they have in common. We do this when we read stories too. It's important to think about how one story is similar or different from another story that we've read before. This helps us understand the story better. We can still use this exact same Venn diagram to help us do that. It helps keep our thoughts organized. So here's what I would like for everyone to do. I want you to draw a Venn diagram just as I've drawn one here. Earlier this week, we read two different Cinderella stories. One of them was titled A Cinderella Named Zoe. The other was titled A Cinderella Named Kwan. I want you to fill out this Venn diagram using the two stories that we've read. So in one circle, you're going to tell me all the things you noticed about A Cinderella Named Zoe. In the other circle, you're going to tell me what you noticed about A Cinderella Named Kwan. Then, where the two circles overlap in the shaded area in the middle, I want you to tell me, what did these two stories have in common? How were they similar? Okay, happy reading.